The National Women's Championship recently ended in Ahmedabad and Padmini Rout became the national champion. These are the standings. She finished with 9 out of 11 with a powerful score, and in the tournament she performed amazingly well in the second half where she scored nearly 6 points out of 7 rounds. And joining me today on this interview is the current national champion of India, Padmini. Hello, Padmini.
Hi Sagar, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Thank you. Padmini, do you know that you actually are getting very close to be the highest number of national title winner of India ever?
Yeah, I think after every national title, I'm reminded of it. And although it's would be a great honor to match the titles with Vijayalakshmi, but she has been such a strong player with like she has I think 4 or 5 grandmaster norms and close to 2500. I think she was just near 2500. So I think as like for my personal rating, I'm still a long way from reaching that place. But yeah, I hope I'll be able to win more titles because also, like I said earlier, it helps us to qualify for Asian because playing in Asian and all, it's not very easy and it's also very expensive. And also you qualify for the World Chess Cup, which is one of the paths to becoming a world champion.
Wow, amazing! And this is the list of titles. So with this, I think you joined Rohini Khadilkar and Bhagyashree Thipsay. They both had 5 titles, and you have now equaled them, and also Vijayalakshmi. But what is very interesting, Padmini, is that the last time you won the title, it was in Ahmedabad in 2017. I was there at
Yeah,
that.
I remember it was you were starting a trip, and it
Yes.
was one of the first tournaments of your long trip. It was the first tournament you were covering, so I do remember.
It was the first one, and it was in Surat. I remember that we had traveled by bus, and you had won it, and you didn't play after that because that was your fourth title, and I think you did not play national titles for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and then you came back and you scored your fifth title victory. So, what was the motivation to play this tournament?
So I think when you are with, I started winning national seniors when I just finished my under 20. Like right after World Juniors in Pune, I played in Sangli in 2014, and that's the first time where I won my nationals. And it was very interesting also because for World Juniors, I really wanted to win that tournament, but I finished fourth and I was very upset. I was really I was crying after the tournament, and I was like, because my parents were there, it was too much pressure,
I
probably.
remember it was in Pune,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Mhm.
And so, but then my mother was also joining me for the nationals, but she came back home for a while. And I even got the chance, like I was staying with Soumya Didi for a while during the 4 5 days break which we had before nationals. And I was like, okay, this I'm going to relax now, whatever happens. And somehow that attitude kind of helped in that tournament, and I was able to win. I think also that was one of the tournaments which helped me qualify for my first World Cup.
Mm.
And after that, some I was very fortunate to win the next 3 also. But I think after a while, I thought, okay, I mean, I just didn't, I was not valuing it that much because it was starting to get more difficult and difficult. Like I would lead until midway, like even in 2017. I think after rest day, I was leading, but then I completely collapsed until the last round where we all players who were leading were on same points. And yeah, so I decided, okay, I'll not play. And next year I won Asian, so I was still there in the World Cup. And then for some reason I didn't play in 2019. I don't know why. And obviously 2020 we already had pandemic.
Hmm.
2021, I did play in Bhubaneswar where Divya won for the first time. And 20 last year, it was clashing with World Rapid and Blitz, so I couldn't play.
Hmm.
Yeah, so this year I could play again.
I thought it was a bit like, how Magnus said, okay, I've won enough titles. Now I don't want to play the world title.
Yes, you just don't understand how important it is to be able to win the tournament, and it's not like it's easy. Like you just
Yeah.
think, oh, you're winning so many times. It's but yeah, you just don't understand or forget what it is to win also.
Absolutely. I think it is a very tough struggle, especially in India, because so many players are underrated. In fact, if we look at your scorecard here, it was a tough going for you because in fourth round you lost a game, and
Yeah.
then in the sixth round you also drew against a talented youngster from West Bengal. So you were on 4.5 out of 6 at that point. Uh, how did you approach the second half of the tournament, because that was when you started playing some strong players also, Varshini, Bhakti, Mrudul, Divya. um, it must not have been easy, right? Halfway.
Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely. And I think that when you're starting to win, the seniors are not expecting you to come and be there, and then you're just surprising everyone. And then as it goes on, the players are actually also strong and they're
Hmm.
also fighting for the title. And those were close tournaments, and somehow I got like I think I won with a clear score, because I think also my style is such that it's either win or a loss sort of thing. And even in this tournament, it was very tough. And like you said, the players are heavily underrated. And also, I really feel it's a bit difficult and sad for the players who play in open tournaments. And earlier, at least when we used to win against a lower rated, we used to get 0.8. But
Yes.
now even that is not there. And I feel it's a very strange rule, and something has to be done about it, because okay, there is no other way for us to improve, and open tournaments are the only tournaments which we get to play. And when and because these players are also so underrated, that to win against them it's not easy. You have to
I
actually
agree.
play a full 4 hours or 5 hours game to win against them.
And then
And
you don't even get rating points because of this new rule, where if it is a gap of more than 400 elo points,
yes,
you get only one game where you get 0.8 in a tournament. Rest all you get 0 points
yeah,
rating.
that's so difficult, and it's so unfair also for the players who are not getting invited to all the top tournaments. And because the lower rateds who are there, everyone is nowadays working very hard
Yeah,
and trying to, even they're trying to improve their rating, which is also difficult for them, because if you are over 18 and you don't have that extra coefficient to make big jumps, then it's difficult. But even for players who are in the ranges of, I think, maybe 2100 to 2500, those who are not playing in close tournaments and playing more in open tournaments, to improve rating has become very difficult.
right.
Like you can see from my list, I think before I only could like I have a -2. That's only because Divya was so high rated than us, and yeah, like because of the last round win, I could compensate it.
Yes. Otherwise, you might have lost more elo points. Becoming a champion, but still losing rating elo is not very common.
Yeah.
But you did play an amazing final round game against Divya Deshmukh, because I think it was the all important clash. And when I checked later, I realized that if Divya would have won this game, she would have become the national champion for, I think, the third consecutive time, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I think her tiebreak was higher than the remaining girls, so she would have reached 8.5. So actually, this game was such a decisive encounter in the final round. So how did you approach it?
Yeah, I think for me also it was a very important game that I was playing against Divya. And also I understood that for her also it's important to win. And we are not going for an equal game, and we are both going to try. Like also we can see from the choice of opening she made, like completely surprising me. Yeah, I knew she was going to play for a win, which worked for me because I also wanted to play for a win. Draw was not like really uh, putting me anywhere. Like, okay, you have to play a normal game, whatever happens, but it's not like either of us is happy with a draw.
Correct.
So, yeah, it was a very crucial game, and I think, yeah, a lot of pressure for all the players like Divya, me, and also the other players who were playing on second and third board.
Yes.
So,
Yeah,
yeah,
lot was at stake. In fact, the top prize of the tournament is also prize money is also very good, right? It was what, rupees 5
seven,
lakhs, 7
seven.
lakhs.
All my four nationals, even I have not won that much.
Wow. Wow. So this is actually, you're at stake is rupees 7 lakh, then rating points, qualification to the World Cup,
Yes. We
Asian
don't
Championship.
this year we qualify or not, but at least it's a chance, like
Yes.
depending on the
Yes.
what is held, I suppose.
Absolutely. And so let's go to the game. You were playing with the white pieces, and as always, you open with one e4. And one thing which I've always believed in is that you are a very big fighter. Whenever it comes to tense situations, we've seen you not getting under so much pressure. Even at the Olympiad, if you remember, you won the gold for India, individual gold. You don't get stressed out. You like to play long games, and you can just continue playing in crucial games. Is there something that you have worked upon when you play such crucial games, or it just comes naturally?
No, I think sometimes it comes naturally, but sometimes it doesn't. And then if I am more calmer and if I have been doing meditation or something, then then I can identify that I'm not calm and I'm being stressed out. And then I can think, okay, it's just a game and I have to just try to play a good game.
Mm.
But if that doesn't happen, then some it has happened. Like for example, in Nation, I was not able to keep calm and I lost the game.
Okay.
So yeah, so it happens, and yeah, luckily in team tournaments, I think I feel that my teammates are so strong. Also, I feel they are taking most of the stress. Probably my mind thinks that way, and it helps me. They are like very supportive always. So you're like, just play a good game, and yeah, I think that helps me.
Right. Yeah, you're very, very modest here, Padmini. But Divya played the French defense, and this is not her main opening.
No, I didn't expect her to play French. I thought maybe she'll go for Sicilian because Sicilian is also very fighting, and yeah, French is also very fighting, and it's not a very easy opening to play.
And with Magnus playing, I think it is becoming more popular, right? He's starting to play French in some games. Also, Ding played it at the World Championship against Nepo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, even here in one of the crucial games between Soumya and Bhakti, they had a French.
right.
French.
Okay, Bhakti is a French player for years now, so that
Yeah,
is
but
not a surprise.
also play other stuff.
Yes,
So
true, true.
yeah.
So you decided to play the advanced variation of the French, and she played c5, c3, knight to c6. You got your knight out. Bishop d7. She played, and you went bishop e2, knight e7, castles, knight g6. Was this known to you? This entire setup that she chose, like knight e7, knight g6.
Um, I think, usually a knight c3 player, but for this
You
game,
mean on move 3 here?
yes, on move 3. And I was not expecting this variation, but I had some preparation I had done, but which I had not played. And I didn't exactly remember how to respond to knight e7, knight g6, but I thought, okay, it's not really attacking or making any threats. real threats on d4 or anything. So maybe I can just develop my pieces.
Right. So you just put your bishop out, and then you also developed your knight. And once your knight could no longer come to c3, she took on d4.
Yeah, like I
Pawn
was
takes.
thinking if I should put my knight on d2 or if I should play some knight a3, knight c2 if it was required or not. I don't know, like I didn't remember the theory exactly. So I thought, okay, it's towards the center.
Towards the center. And she took here, he
Yeah.
castled, and you put your pawn on a3, a useful move, stopping knight b4 ideas. Also, you can always expand with b4.
Yeah, and also once I played knight d2, she took on d4. Okay, now my knight is never coming to c3. If I want to
Right.
come, I have to waste move. So that's the moment she chose to play cd.
And she also broke in the center. A good move, right?
Yeah, a3 I played. I was thinking between a3 and g3. I thought, okay, a3 will always be useful. G3, I am not sure if it will be a useful move or a weakening move.
g3
So I
with
thought,
the
okay,
idea of h4, h5?
yeah, I'd like to take control over f4 and yeah, and also h4, h5.
Okay. But you preferred this, and she broke here, you took, and she took back with the bishop.
Yeah.
And now you put your bishop on d3. Very useful move. In general, bishop went back to e8, and now knight to b3. At this point, did you feel like you had a pleasant position?
Yeah, I think after a3 only I thought I have a pleasant position, but I was not sure how to proceed. And I thought, okay, probably put the bishop on that diagonal, keeping always a eye on the knight and on that 7 line. And I thought, okay, I wanted obviously to bring knight towards e5, but that d2 knight was not coming so
Right.
easily. I thought, okay, knight to b3. Like,
Maybe here, if you get chance.
yeah, a lot of time I wanted to play this g3 move, but I just could not bring myself to make that move.
Yeah,
I
because the scary part is all the light squares get weakened, and if her bishop comes here, you are in big trouble.
Yeah, I have not checked with computer still, but yeah, that's one of the moves which was always, I was feeling like making, but I thought, okay, it's too weakening a move and it's not required.
Right. And she played b6, stopping your knight from coming to c5. A very logical move. You brought your rook in. She brought queen to d6. And now you played queen d2, controlling the f4 square so the knight cannot come here.
Yeah.
She went knight e7. And you got your rook. Very, useful moves. Rook is always very well placed on the semi-open file.
Yeah.
And now she played knight to f5. And here, I think you made a very interesting decision, which was to chop off this knight for your very good bishop. Can you tell us what were you thinking?
Yeah, my bishop is very good, but also they say that what goes out of the board, but what remains is also important. And we will see that the d5 pawn become like black has the light square bishop, and if I'm able to exchange the f6 and e3 dark color bishops, then I'll have knights, and my opponent will have knight and bishop, and then the weak e5 squares. So I thought, okay, if I get to exchange these pieces, then for sure I'll have a small but definite advantage.
So your move bishop takes f5
Yeah.
in conjunction with your next move is
Yes.
is good. If you didn't play this next move, it makes no sense.
Yeah. Then opponent just have double bishop.
Correct. And so this is a very nice positional move, bishop g5, because now you are fighting for this square. And also her bishop on e8 suddenly starts to look a little bit like a bad piece.
Yeah. For this reason, I'm not sure if knight f5 was correct or not. Because if black just waits for a little while, maybe bishop f7. No, bishop f7, maybe I have knight g5. But something else maybe. maybe h6. I don't know if it's a move, but maybe h6.
Okay.
Then also white does not have any direct threats yet.
Mm.
So white has to actually come up with a plan. And black does not have any clear weakness. Like e file is one weakness, but I was doubling on c. Like I brought one rook to c1 and one rook to e1.
Right.
And by the time I double on e file, also opponent can just play bishop f7.
Correct.
So b6 and queen d6, I think, were very good moves, keeping the tension on the board. And but knight f5 was hasty, I feel.
Mm. Right.
Now,
So but you took good advantage of it. You played bishop g5, and now she took. You went in with your queen, and she attacked your knight. You came back. h6. You came back. Rook here, and now you got your knight to e5.
yeah.
At this point, how does a player think? Because at your level, you are of course sure that you are better. Also, now if you win, then you become maybe the national champion, right? So because other games you might see or not see, but you know that at least you will finish in top two. Do you start getting a bit tensed here? How do you start? Because this is now clearly a better position.
Yeah, I think this is the only time where I was not thinking about in this game, this tournament, not thinking about the championship.
Mm.
And this portion already, I thought I have very good advantage. And okay, I thought here my opponent took on e5, but I thought, okay, my opponent had to play bishop d7.
She went first back.
Okay, so she had to play some f4 somewhere, like
Right.
to be able to create some
Right.
counter. If it comes or not comes, but she has to play somewhere. No, if not here, somewhere later. And I thought, yeah, already with the knight on e5, if she didn't play f4, I thought, okay, like unless white blunders, there is no way white is going to be in trouble anymore.
Right.
After this, I was pretty sure that almost the game is.
When she took here.
Yeah, once I got f4 basically.
Okay.
Like, okay, if black wants to bring the knight to e4, it will take a really lot of time.
Mm.
And by that time,
Yeah, it's not easy.
white will get something, some queen c3, queen c7, or something white will get.
Right.
And knight to f6 is really a very long journey. And now after she took knight e5, I thought, okay, white is winning.
Right. Queen b8. And now, if you had to sort of say put it into words, what should be white's winning plan? What would it be? Like my first thought is get your knight here, but then do you take it like as it goes, or you build up a plan that I want to double on c file, I want to push my pawns here? How do you just make a move?
I thought, like you said, I thought, okay, knight has to come to d4 and then maybe double on c file or play e6 and all, because I'm also a dynamic player and can't play too slow.
But you played very like you were so calm in this game, right? You did not push anything. You're just waiting.
Yeah, I didn't want to unnecessarily make a mistake. I wanted to have a long game and keep chances. Like not have it a very quick game in 1 hour or 2 hour. It's clear some real weakness has happened or some real weakness mistake has been made. Yeah, I don't know about knight c6 and all, but I think by now I was already thinking, okay, this question is winning, but how to win? So it might not be very precise the way I chose to.
Right. But I thought you did it well. Of course, she can go rook c8, but I think you would have gone queen e7 right here, or queen d6.
Queen d6, I think I was thinking.
Queen d6, and so she tried to bring her king in. You also put your king like very safe play. Queen e7, queen rook.
She was already on a lot of time pressure, so king f7 and she, I think, made in 1 second when she.
Oh.
Like she had, after she played king f7, she had 31 seconds.
My God. And you're threatening now, sorry, e6. So she went bishop e6, knight c6, and now you got the exchange. I also felt that when I was seeing this part of the game where you converted, you were also very careful.
Yeah, my calculator, I had to do some little bit of calculation because we'll see why Divya is still won the two. Like she's so strong because she's very resourceful also.
Right.
And I think if I got a pawn on A7 and this calculation, I think I did well that I was able to get the D4 pawn for my. It was very important. Otherwise I think like because my queen cannot move out from D2.
Right.
Like I have to protect F4 and G2 all the time. And then if my queen and rook are not coordinating together, then it's difficult to create some real threats.
Correct.
Like opponent will also have some D3 queen E2 plans.
Absolutely. And also your pawn, if she takes whichever way, you win the D4 pawn.
So this queen B4 check and rook D8 check was a very crucial combination which I got. If I don't play one of the checks also, then like the king will always come to F8 and protect the E6 pawn, like against the E pawn will be there, and then the queen and bishop are keeping the threat.
So if let's say something like this, then she can already start thinking about D3 queen E2 just in case.
Yeah, it might still be winning, but it's just completely unnecessary.
Correct. So you went here, come back, bishop C6, and now you took the pawn. She took rook D3, G5 takes, and here she resigned, and you managed to win. When you won this game, did you already know that you are the champion?
No, like Bhakti's game was still going on. I was just happy that I won my game, and I still didn't think I would be the champion.
And when you got to know that you have become the champion, what did you do?
So me and Mary Didi generally, we sometimes I would wait for her game if my game and her game would finish close during the close time. And since it was the last game, I thought, okay, I'll wait for her game to get over. Because after my game, I think after a while, Bhakti lost. And so it was depending on Mary Didi's game, but she was winning, I thought.
Right.
She will come forward. And because when I saw she had already taken or was going to take on B7, but that game was going on and on. And when the game got over, I got happy, but then I was also a little sad for her because she was so close to. And yeah, it's a little mixed always, but you don't know what to do. I was also like, I didn't expect to win the tournament, and I think out of the 3 players who were on 8 points, I took the least pressure because there was not like I didn't think that Bhakti would lose or
right.
would have a draw. Or I could win the game also. Like it was such an open.
Yeah, it was.
I could win and win the championship also. I think even Mahalakshmi had a very good tiebreak, and if something goes wrong in first 3 boards and she wins, even she had chances to win the tournament.
So you had many results that went your way to become the champion.
Yeah. After I won my game, 2 games had to go my way because then the tiebreak wouldn't matter because I would be higher on points than other players. Yeah, but if there was a draw, then there would be many players and a lot of tiebreaks. Even tiebreaks is very interesting because it depends on how your opponents play last round.
Absolutely.
And how they played the rest of the tournament.
Right. And so Padmini, you've been winning national titles for all the from 2014 to 2017 and now this one. Would you say that the overall level of play has improved now as compared to the earlier years that you played?
I think there are a lot of mixed things. Earlier, I was also not experienced. So there were players who were more experienced than me. I was a newbie. And now I have some experience which I can use against the newbies who are also like me, like I was, who are also very strong. And it's very interesting. I think, for sure, generally nowadays kids are more professional, and they're playing throughout the year, and they're doing training, and so like training very hard. So yeah, definitely the even though the rating doesn't show and doesn't reflect the strength of the tournament, the players are very good. And if you don't get a chance, or if you are not able to play better than them, the game is going into a draw, or they can also win
Yeah.
if they get a chance.
No, absolutely. If you see the final standings, you will see that there are so many experienced players who finished quite low in their ranking list. For example, let's say Soumya, who was doing really well, she finished 11th. You had Nisha, you had Swati. I mean, these are all the Isha crowd. All of them finished around 15, 20th, 25th place. So clearly, experience is not the only thing in such tournaments. You also have to have other things that you do well. I think overall in Indian chess, just like how we see the boys coming up, let's say these are youngsters, Gukesh, Arjun, Nihal, Prag. In girls also, there's this huge sort of group, which is Divya, Vantika, you have Rakshita, you have Savita. So how do you see this as a player who's also very competitive, who's also trying to go towards the GM title? This rise of the young talents in Indian women's chess.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see them, and I hope more kids come up and be as professional as them and go for these GM titles and all. Because then also as senior players, you're not complacent, and you are also working.
You're pushed, yes, so you have to also
You're
work.
not going to win any title easily. And also that me and Mary Didi were top two, and even Bhakti, if we say that we are senior players, we are still there.
Absolutely.
So, and also I think with some of the other players, sometimes it can happen that other players are happy to make a draw with you, but then you're not happy, and then it's not working in your favor.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm very happy that Savita, Vantika, Divya, and all of them have come up, and then it's a good mixture, and you see how they're approaching the game, and how professional they are at such a young age, and how you were back then. So it's very interesting and nice to see them.
That that's a very
Become
positive approach to have. I think one of the players from whom I saw this positive approach is Levon Aronian. Whenever I asked him in a tournament that, oh, you're going to play young talents, it must be pressure giving. He said, I get to learn from them. So that is the best thing. So even a great player like Levon, he constantly keeps learning from young players.
Yeah, he is also one of my favorite players. So I'm happy that I have positive attitude like him.
Brilliant, brilliant. And Padmini, right now you are around 2355, right? This is your live rating. I was just checking before this interview. You at some point in 2015 you were 2450. Your rating has been in this range. What do you see yourself as in the coming years now? Let's say in the next half of the year, do you are you still motivated to move towards the GM title? How are your feelings?
Yeah, I definitely want to complete my GM title, and I feel I need to play tournaments where there are more players high rated than me, so that because when you're playing like in most of the tournaments in India, we have so many young players who want to play chess, and thanks to this pandemic boom which we had, and thanks to you also, that there's so many young players, and when we are playing in India, and because of these rules which we have, and which where you don't gain any rating, it's difficult to increase your rating here. So I want to increase my rating, and I have one GM norm. So make my other two GM norms and make 2500 live, cross 2500, not just live. So shouldn't, yeah, just being there is not the goal, but to play as strong as possible, because I feel I can still, this is not I have not reached my potential, at least how much effort I can put, and the, yeah, mostly how much effort I can put, and I guess how much, what I think of myself. So, yeah, I'm playing Abu Dhabi, which is a very strong tournament, and it has 2300 cutoff also. So it's going to be a really strong tournament.
Right. This would be a very good opportunity. Does chess take up all of your time, like chess preparation, or you do something else as well?
No, mostly I'm into chess. Yeah, so most of my time goes into chess, or some, I feel whenever I'm taking care of myself also, it's for chess. So all whatever exercise, meditation, it's part of all chess training.
So you, if let's say you take a break, let's say you go on a vacation, it's mainly like, okay, I need to take a break, or I know that you like going to treks. So that is also so that you can play better chess. So your entire, every decision that you take is stemming from the fact that you want to become a better chess player.
Yeah, as of now, whatever I think I do in life, it's to become a better chess player. And my parents have always supported me completely with this goal. So, and my father was the one who pushed me into chess, and he was also like, "You play chess, and we will take care of everything else." So, yeah, he always pushed me towards working harder and putting more time into chess.
Wow, that is amazing. I know how much your parents have worked to bring you where you are, and you are someone who's sort of kept going. And of course, you have had tough moments in your career, but you have kept on going. And I believe that GM title is something that we are all looking forward that you reach there. And of course there will be other milestones as well. As you said, you will play the World Cup, the Asian Championship, and so on. So it'll be great fun following you, Padmini.
Thank you, Sagar.
So thanks, Padmini, for this interview, and all the best for Abu Dhabi.
Thank you so much.
Oh, how are you feeling, Padmini? So I know that Gujarat is always special in a lot of ways, but what were you today? Let's rewind back. 8 a.m., 9 a.m. today morning. What were you feeling?
Yeah, this was almost like 2017 national title, and I think in October, November last year, in the last round of Asian Championship, I just needed a draw to come second and qualify for the World Cup, but the knocks was too much for me. So I was a little prepared this time. I just have to focus on the game and try to play a good game. So that was my only goal. But obviously, थोड़ा बहुत था ऐसे nervous लग रहा था, but I think it was much better this time.
When you talk about nerves, again, I'm coming yesterday evening. The tournament was wide open. There were 3 contenders to become champions. You, along with your roommate, your partner, your teammate, Mary and Bhakti. So how do you prepare for this crucial round, like where you need a must win in the last to stay in the top 5 of this event? How do you prepare yourself, and what were you thinking about?
So I think I just prepared for my opponent, for Divya, and I just prepared what she plays and how the tournament went for me. I had a loss in the middle of the tournament and then I had to make a comeback. So I just had to, because that game I felt like I tried to win and it didn't go, it backfired. So I just had to play a normal game and maybe if I play a little better than my opponent, and if my opponent actually more than the last person to make mistake.
Yeah, that's what I was coming to, that Divya is in form of her life. She's the most upcoming the youngster of India in form, and how she made an amazing comeback after having some bad games, and she was fearing to conquer it. So you knew your threat.
Yeah, she has been winning almost all the tournaments she's playing in. She won the Asian now, and she's also the last two national champion, and she wasn't an easy opponent because it's like a wounded tiger or a wounded lion, as they say. So it was a very crucial game, and I knew that she would be also fighting all out and looking for her chances. That was also working for me because she wasn't someone who would be just happy with her draw. So that's also the kind of game I wanted. So it was good that my opponent also wanted the same, and then for sure it was going to be a very fighting game.
Correct. Let's go through the tournament. I mean, I know that you may have had, I think, one off game. So, because you've been playing for so many years, I was just telling Mary, I know that you girls are very young, but you have been in top 10 for so long, and you've been fighting for India and playing for India for so long that I cannot tell the next generation. But how do you come back? This special question is for the next generation. How do you come back from that situation when you have an off game? I think a lower rated drew with you very nicely, and how did you prepare yourself from there?
Yeah, I think once, I would say it's part of the experience, and this is what has helped me in this tournament, because I've been playing so many tournaments, and I've had tournaments where I was not able to take control over my nerves, or if I had a draw against a low rated, if it would spiral down. But I think it's because of the experience, and also you have to, because opponent, everyone is working and trying to win. So I think you just have to be very objective, and it's not always easy to be objective, but if you try to be and if you are able to maintain that objectivity throughout the game, then very good chances to make comeback or
Okay, one of very important question I did ask Mary about it, and it's the same. I see a very important part of chess is corporates getting into it. You play for PSPB. PSPB has been very instrumental in your growth and development story. And today also they give you the most comfort zone. This is the question because the corporates, when they come into chess, makes life easier for players. What do you think? What was their role in this tournament, and how much they have helped you to be what you are today?
Yeah, I think it's very important that more corporates come and sponsor the players, or give them some kind of a way to be a little bit more relaxed about arranging the financial stuff, because chess, they say, okay, we just need a chessboard and pieces, that's it. But the traveling, the tournaments, we have to play a lot of tournaments, and the training expenses, and especially for female players, I feel, I think it's not very easy to travel all through the world just on your own, because it takes a lot of energy, and to be always on your toes and to see that everything is all well organized, and wherever you are playing, not in India and abroad also. So you always have to be careful, and if someone is traveling with you, then it becomes easier, but then it also adds to the expenses. So I think all the corporates coming would really help for those sports persons, upcoming players to be able to make chess a career. And also thanks to Indian Oil, I have been able to focus on my game. My parents are also getting a little bit old, and my mom was not well in early, in Feb. So it takes you have someone also supporting you, and then also you can also look after your parents and also focus on chess. You can do everything together. So I think, thanks to them, I've been able to play chess and also look after my parents as well as any normal person.
Last and final question. I'm sure you're excited about that. I think this is the highest prize money in any national championship you have ever won.
Yeah.
What do you think about this great initiative, and what do you think about how did Gujarat State Chess Association organize this event?
Yeah, I think my all 4 national titles together had not won so much prize money, which I am winning in just this one tournament. So really thanks to ASAF, the sponsor, to Gujarat Chess Association for making this possible. I think this is also it will look very lucrative to whoever is watching the tournament, for them to take up chess, and it is very attractive for the kids and the parents who are going to see this tournament also. So I'm very happy, and thanks to Gujarat State Chess Association and the organizers, the sponsor of the tournament, ASAF, for this wonderful tournament and this great prize money.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.